Howdy, my name's Jeremy, and sometimes I like to take pictures. Pictures like this, this, and this. Now, if my voice sounds a little strange right now, I apologize. I was just doing a Scott Stapp impression before starting this. So since 2023, I have been making a video at the beginning of every year talking about my favorite pictures that I had taken in the year before, showing you my 10 favorites, kind of talking through them. And it seems like, despite not really wanting to, this year's not going to be any different. Sharp-eared viewers may have noticed, maybe, that I seem a little less enthusiastic about this video than I have about videos in the past. And well, that's honestly just because I think I'm less enthusiastic about my photographic output of 2025 than I have been about years past. And at this point, it's 2026 now, there's not really anything I can do about it. So I figured why not just power through and get this video done, even if I'm not feeling it that much. But I thought a way to keep this light and fun was that I actually brought along this guy. That's all he does, but I thought it might be interesting. Before we get started, I'll just remind you, if you've never seen one of these videos before, these pictures are going to be presented to you in chronological order through the year. They're not necessarily indicative of my favorites based on where they lie in the list. That said though, I'll tell you now, number 3 is my favorite. In past videos, I do a little preamble before showing you the picture, but I don't want to do that this year, so here it is. I took this picture with my drone, the original Mavic Air, back in February. I was really excited about this field that was in bloom, also pictured here, but this picture's not part of the video, this one is. So I'm not a huge fan of the bald spot that you can see right here, but I guess it gives you something to look at, I don't know. I'm mostly a fan of the 50-50 split of the blue on top, pink on the bottom, and the transmission tower is kind of like a bridge connecting the two colors. Should you do this in a YouTube video? I don't know, maybe not. Now you may have noticed, hey, what's the big deal? Last year's video, the first 2 pictures were taken on the 1st of January, but this year's video, the first picture's not till February? Well, you didn't take any pictures in January? Newsflash, I did take pictures in January. I took this picture of my friend. I just think it's funny. This picture was not taken with my drone. This picture was taken with the Sony Alpha 6700. Also, every picture here on out was taken with the Sony Alpha 6700, so I probably should think of a new thing to say at the beginning of each of these segments. Now, one of you out there is probably thinking to yourself, hey, didn't I, out of the goodness of my heart, give my friend Jeremy my old Canon Rebel T3i? Yeah, you did. I just didn't really take any good pictures with it. Yeah. Look at all that green though. And those flowers. I took this one back in April, and what I mostly remember from that day is that it was muddy as hell. I really like this bench, how it's kind of shoved up against the hill. There's a river down to the right that you can't see. And what else? What else about this? I don't know, I just think it's pretty. I even printed it onto a little canvas and sold it to nobody. Yeah, I said there'd be no preamble before I showed you any of these pictures, but I did already tell you that number 3 was my favorite, so I thought it might be kind of weird if I just shoved it in front of your face unceremoniously. Does it feel ceremonious now? Ladybug. I think it's cool to see what it's like to be a little bug, and this picture shows you exactly what it would look like if you were a little bug. Yeah, I like this one a lot. I don't know if it's just because purple is my favorite color, but that's part of it, I guess. I've wondered if maybe it would have been more interesting if I had gotten it while the flowers were opened up, like at a different time of day, instead of all shriveled up like they are here. But I don't know, I kind of like the shriveled up flowers. I like the shape that they make, they're kind of like this, you know? You'd think I'd have more to say about this one since I did already say it was my favorite, but no, I'm done. People love to take pictures of waterfalls, so I thought I'd try my hand at taking a picture of a waterfall. This is that picture of a waterfall. Okay, so it's more like a stream that's going down some rocks and not like water falling. But I mean, is that even the definition of a waterfall? A brief search told me that this might be a cascade, which might be a type of waterfall. I don't know. I don't really know. I actually took a picture of this same thing a couple days earlier, which looks like this, but I didn't have my tripod with me at the time, and I really wanted to take a picture of it with a longer exposure to get the smoother water like I think you're supposed to when you're taking pictures of waterfalls. So I did that. And now it's in the video. It almost wasn't, but now it is. I don't know. Speaking of exposure times, this picture taken a few days before was at 1/320th of a second. This picture, the one this segment is about, was taken at 1/2 of a second. And this picture was taken at 1/8 of a second. In late May, I took a trip over to see some friends I hadn't seen in a long time, in a place I hadn't been to in a long time. It had been about 7 years since I moved from Michigan back to my home state of California, and do you want to know what the first thing I did when I got there was? I watched Ace Ventura Jr., Pet Detective. Another thing I did when I was down there was see some frogs. This is my attempt at like a Wes Anderson style pan shot, but it's filled with a bunch of weird frogs. I also took a walk with a friend through a cemetery near where I used to live and snapped this picture of this deer. Initially, my friend had pointed out to me its fawn, which was in another spot in the cemetery, and I took a picture of that too, but I think this one with mama deer came out a lot better. The fawn was neat, but it's like so small in the picture that I ended up getting that, yeah, I just think this one is better. I did also take a picture of a Burger King with a bunch of graves in front of it because I thought, I don't know, it was kind of funny to me. But this segment's just about the deer picture, so. I even took this deer and put it on a canvas and sold it to somebody. Did you think I was gonna say nobody again? I f***ing tricked you. Should I curse in this? I'll it. This is a picture of a bird. I took this picture in 2025, and I think it's a good bird. This is a picture of a bird. I took this picture in 2025, and I think it's a good bird. This is a picture of a bird. I took this picture in 2025, and I think it's a good bird. Yeah. This is a picture of a bird family. I took this picture in 2025, and I think it's a good bird family. I couldn't pick one of the bird pictures for this. So this isn't like photo 6, I guess. This segment is more like photo birds. This, I think, is just a solid picture of a bird. You can really get in there and see all the bird details. I remember this bird being like really chill and just kind of sitting there for a long time, posing for me while I got the right picture of the bird. This one is a cute bird, a small bird. I like the yellow against the blue. I like the broken water left in the wake of this tiny bird and all the smooth water in front of it, which gives us a nice reflection of this baby. And there's this little ripple of water caused by something, maybe a bug that hit the water right over here. I think that's cool too. I think it's cool. This to me is the most compositionally interesting photo of the bird photos because I got a bunch of sticks and leaves in the foreground and I framed the goose between those. I remember waiting a long time to take this picture. I had like framed it and just had my hands up like this, holding my camera, waiting for the goose to turn and look at me, and it took a long time. Eventually someone came jogging behind me. I was on this trail and it was down in the water. Someone came jogging behind me, got its attention, it turned and looked at me and I went click, as is evident by the picture in the video. And here's a little bird family swimming along. I don't know, I thought it'd be a better segment if I had 4 pictures to show you instead of 3. So I went ahead and included this one too. It's got the little guy from the other picture. I don't know if you can tell. There's less color too, which is maybe interesting. I actually don't know why I decided to break up photo 5 in this one with all those birds, because this was taken maybe 30 minutes after I took the deer picture in the diner I used to go to all the time by the house I used to live in. There's really nothing that exciting about this picture, I assume. I don't know, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but to me it really just takes me back to a time in my early 20s when I was surrounded by friends, just living life every day with arguably not enough cares in the world. Just spending my time with people I like being around. There's a street sign for the street I used to live on and the auto shop I used to take my car to. I ended up printing this picture out, actually, and I currently keep it right next to my bed. Yeah, I don't know. It's nice. Whenever Milky Way season rolls around, I spend almost the entirety of it thinking to myself that I should really be taking advantage of Milky Way season. And this picture is me taking advantage of Milky Way season. I've been searching around on Google Maps to find some sort of landmark that I could have and point at and have the Milky Way up in the sky behind it. And after looking around, you know, my surroundings, I found this dam. I mean, I knew the dam existed, but I looked at the dam and realized, hey, if I point my camera at the dam, the Milky Way's behind it. So that's what I did. That's me over here, looking like a guy who's about to walk onto this pier. But I'll tell you the truth, which is that I never went more than like 5 steps onto that pier. And that's because I didn't want the guy in his houseboat off in the water blasting Eminem at night to yell at me, say like, get off my pier. I don't know why the guy blasting Eminem at night would yell at me, but I guess that's just general fear I have. Do not yell at me, please. Yeah, so I know with all the talk of exposure times in a previous segment, you might be wondering to yourself, what's the exposure time on this bad boy? Well, I took this picture, I'll tell you, over the course of 13 seconds, which means that I was standing like this for 13 seconds. What a weird thing to do. I'm surrounded by orchards and have taken quite a few orchard pictures in the last few years, but this one really excites me because it's an orchard on top and then a reflection of the orchard on the bottom. Longtime viewers of these videos may remember that I used to have quite an affinity for reflections, and it turns out that hasn't really stopped, you know, because I clocked this view while driving by it one day. I saw it for maybe a second, just driving by, and I was like, hey, look at that. So, hit my brake really safely and flipped around really safely and parked, just went over and grabbed it. I had my camera with me and I locked in, you know? I had really thought that my orchard days and my reflection days were over, and it turns out that what I really needed to reignite those sparks was just to put them together. Yeah. And I know that I just said that I thought my orchard days were over, but please do not point out that the very first picture of this video was of an orchard. That was different. That was taken from like the sky. This one was taken like really low to the ground. You hear about that tool fog? We got hit with it pretty hard a few months ago. You seen that satellite picture of California covered in the fog? Yeah, I was inside of that, and that was kind of rough. It was like really thick to the point where no sunlight was coming through, which means I couldn't really take any pictures because there's no light. I don't know, you kind of want light when you're taking pictures most of the time. I guess I could have adapted and taken different sorts of pictures that were more suited to the conditions, but before the tool fog, well, as it was first like rolling in before we were under it for a month or whatever, it was really cool because there were still sunsets and everything. That's when I took this picture. I'm a big fan of this one. I like the colors. I like the little clouds up the top. I like the layer of fog on the bottom. And there's some nice symmetry going on with this street lamp and these poles, 2 poles on either side. I don't know. Yeah, I think it's cool. and fun. So thank you, Fog, for this. No thank you for... In conclusion, those are some pictures from 2025 that I took with my camera using my brain. Supposedly they're my favorites from the year and not this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, or this one. None of those pictures had a segment in this video, so they're not worth anything. If you would like to see other pictures that didn't have a segment in this video, I'm still posting away over on Instagram. You can check that out. Sometimes I post a lot, and then it kind of stops for a while, and then it comes back. I start posting again. It's like a roller coaster, a fun roller coaster that you will like over at Dremby on Instagram. That's with 2 Y's for no real reason. It kind of is sort of like my name. Anyway, there's also a link to it in the description if that's easier. And huge shout out to this guy for holding it together this year. Couldn't have done it without you, man. You've been such a big help. I really needed this. Thank you. But unfortunately, your services are just no longer needed. Ugh. A lot squishier than I thought it was gonna be. Ugh. That's good enough, right? I mean, that's a video, I think.